I think so, and what you just said here is probably more time than anyone will get, maybe even ever, from their primary care doctor talking about this stuff, and probably from a lot of hormone clinics too, and that's a big problem, and you just outlined it too, right? So you just give a quick outline. Go to your primary care doctor, you're scheduled for, a 15-minute visit, and 5 of that has to be him doing his chart and getting things prepped, so you have 10 minutes to talk, and all of
Yeah.
it can't be lifestyle, although it's probably the most important thing if we focused on what's the big rock here? What's the thing that's going to fix most of your problems? You have that patient you described is probably to us it sounds like a train wreck or a dumpster fire, and we're describing it as not optimal, but pretty average, right? I mean, pretty average American, 40 pounds overweight, drinking 6 beers a night. I mean, there's
Yep.
probably a lot of head nod, and everyone, man, everyone's either been that person or knows that person for sure. So it's definitely interesting. It's definitely super important, and I think we just don't. The system just doesn't make enough time to cover that most important thing. But we do have time. If you're in a primary care setting and it's that kind of thing, they can walk in, and the prescription isn't lifestyle. The prescription is a pill, and the
Yep.
patient tries it, and there's very little talk about this with the with the lifestyle. Or if there is, it's something like, hey, your blood pressure is up, your blood sugar is up, you need to lose some weight, you need to exercise, you need to eat better. And then the patient leaves and they take to the internet and they come up with some crazy plan of their own. So they're not getting any kind of prescriptive guidance. And either, again, they just don't have time to do it. Maybe the provider has no interest in it. Maybe they just don't know. But I think it's super important. I think it's definitely a value added thing that I think we both provide. I spend a lot of time talking to my folks about that.
Yeah. One of the things that, I didn't really think about until I'm in this space is like, I would say one of the biggest motivating factors for me to keep a consistent exercise regimen and be in control of my eating is I want to be a positive example for people, and sometimes you go to your primary doctor or the doctor across from you is not really the picture of health. And
Sure,
it's really
sure.
not tons of fault to them because they're in a high stress situation. They're having to see a lot of people and stuff. But, it's like the person preaching to you, you really want them to be an example, and a lot of times they're not. And so that's a big motivating factor for me to keep my exercise regimen and everything, so that hopefully I walk in, and just walking in is like, okay, well, this guy, just from what I can tell, may have some authority from his physique and demeanor. And I'm not going to say like I have the perfect physique. I am heavier than what I want to be. I have more body fat than I want, but I'm still working on it. And sometimes I have a high hunger drive, and I've always carried more weight than what I've wanted. And so I can provide a lot of examples from the weight loss portion of what has worked for me, what hasn't.